All right, YouTube, we're back. Dominick Izzo out here in Chicago, Izzo Wing Chun. Carl and I were talking about turning today and developing power, and I can't believe I've never made a video on this. Oh yeah, watch your sausage fingers, by the way. It was blocking the lens last time. That's Carl. All right, anyways, hey, listen. So I wanted to show the three different types of turning punches I've been taught over the years. Three different sifus, three different turning punches, and how I think that the turn is one of the most important things when it comes down to understanding energy in opposite directions, which you get from Chum Q, which is very confusing, which is a pain in the butt. So as you all know, when you get in your centerline punch, if you're a Wing Chun student in the beginning, you're taught, punch, draw back. And honestly, this is where students should spend weeks just learning this, because if they're not going to do this at home, have your students understand the centerline punch in the beginning. Then we add in our centerline, our centerline punch, going right down the center from a side point of view. It's the elliptical motion, right? It's the laundry line or the bicycle chain. One arm comes back, one arm goes forward. And I'm going through this very fast. So comment in the comment section if you have questions about this. What you start to learn over time too is the arm that comes back has to come back with the same amount of intent, energy, and power as the arm that goes forward. So you have to pull and you push at the same time. Pull and you push at the same time. Pull and you push at the same time. You're going to start getting this, your lapsao energy, if you will, pulling and powering, and it's all developed in your elbow. When this applies to a turning punch, okay, my first teacher, the turning punch was you turned and punched, and you punched over center. Turned and punched, turned and punched. Don't forget too, I should include that was a 70-30 weight distribution. So turn and punch, turn, punch, turn, punch. Again, this is where the axis moves. I don't do this anymore. I don't teach this. I don't like this. We do 70-30 weight distribution feet-wise for drills just to develop a back leg mentality. Second teacher, so we have the first one, turning punch, right? You turn and punch, turn, punch, turn, punch, turn, punch. The second teacher was about energy, okay? And it was about letting it go, right? And we would do what was called an A-frame punch. So here's the A-frame of like a roof of a house, an A-frame. So the punch would be mostly the punching side, and the guarding side would never be engaged. So we would punch and let it go. We would punch and let it go. And there's the A-frame, right? The elbow is shot out, and it's meant to get all this relaxation in your arm. You're letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. And it's meant to develop getting that power all the way out there. Some of the good things about that is, what it does teach is you have to find your balance, because my second teacher never went over the concept of balance of footwork. How do you punch on a 70-30 weight distribution, turn with all that power, transfer my axis, turn, and then stop in order to get this side ready to go again, because it was supposed to be, get these going out there quick, going out there quick. This posed great difficulty, because if you shift, turn, whatever you want to call it, I go through both, you're shifting your horse, turning your horse, you're going to run into the issue of your axis changing and your center of gravity changing and your balance being lost. That's fine. Where I found the most success is when I started looking at Chum Q, and my third teacher and I were discussing the turning punch and why it's so powerful. And you have to see the forms for what's at. Number one, the first form teaches you a 50-50 weight distribution. It does not teach a 70-30. So we have to go back to the original concept that that's where you should have your footwork at. Second thing is we're looking at in the energy in opposite directions, which is in the second form, right? You're looking at that. And it's also in the first form with, the three sections where we bring back our Wusao hand. You have to learn that you're putting energy going forward as energy is coming back. And I've talked about this extensively in videos. Even though one side is doing the work, this side is still going on and forward. You guys have heard me talk about hips going forward. So how do we apply that in a stop-start concept of a turning punch? Meaning, if this is both sides are on, why am I turning and punching with one and this side is not engaged? I cannot tell you the importance of being able to turn and still have forwarding energy going with the other side. Well, Izzo, how do I have forwarding energy going forward if I'm going backwards? The development from this. We're learning Independence of both sides, forwarding energy going back, forwarding energy going forward as you're going backwards. In the concept of the turning punch, this is where you're learning to project energy going forward, loading, 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 putting it forward. Loading, loading, putting it forward, 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 forward. In this concept, right, what I'm doing in the form or the turning punches is I'm keeping 50-50, I'm rooting my balance, and as I turn, I'm loading with one side, right? This side is helping this side reinforce. This side's being shot together with my elbow, but I'm going to take my wrist, which is going to be pushed forward with my wusao hand with my elbow, and I'm taking that wrist behind this wrist, and I'm thinking this wrist is reinforcing this wrist, going forward with motion. So as I turn, I may turn this way, which recesses this side of my body backwards, but the second I stop, if this was off, I'd have a problem going backwards. But as this is going backwards, this is going forward. And it stops. This stops me from my balance going backwards. And I load. I load. I load. It's going to be right back here. No contact is made. Comes back up. Boom, boom. Load. This is where you get that torquing power to where you could turn it on without coming back. Well, where's this in the form? Chum Q, Bill G. I don't know, it's all there. Point is you have to learn how to turn dynamically with pressure, with speed, quickness, explosiveness. Plant after you turn, because this is a turn, right? But this is a turn too. Turn is as much as you need it to get done. Once you get that on and off with and you have to learn your body, right? You're turning stuff on, off, on, off, on, off. And then you put in your other drills. Everything's got to go forward all the time. You learn to torque with your hips, take that energy, turn it on, off, plant, shift, turn your stance. All this is so explosive. I guess the point for what I want to explain for you guys as an experiment is punch as aggressively as you can in the air, turning one side off with the other side's on, and then turning this side on and seeing how it goes. To me, this is ultimately found in Chum Q. I hope this makes sense. I hope you guys are enjoying this stuff, and we'll see you in the next video.